Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
All right. So I want to welcome you to this conversation we'll be having with Cristina, who was one of the women that were at Women Wanting More Live 4.0 in November of 2017. And as Cristina, I was just talking before we hit record on this, is like, my intention is really to share Cristina's story, to really showcase and show her, and for you to see what is the possibility when you really invest in you and do this work and start the path of creating the life that you truly want. Life you truly want. So welcome so much, Cristina. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
So let's start with this. Let's kind of take a look at, like, where were you in your life before you and I connected and before you decided to apply, and what made you want to apply for that live event? Like, what made you go like, I'm going to hit that apply and fill out the application and kind of see where this goes?
At that time, I think I had just joined the sisterhood, and I was listening to your podcast, and you were speaking to me somehow, but I was in a real dark place, full of fear and doubt, because I'm going through some big changes in my life, leaving my career, moving countries to be with my husband in the US. I'm leaving Canada, leaving just family, all sorts of change. And then I got hit with the news of some health issues that I needed to take care of. So I was scared. And when you mentioned it in the sisterhood, I was really attracted to the idea of being in a small group. I've done some personal growth already, and it's been in big groups, and I wanted to I was looking for something to help me get through everything that's going on in my life. And I knew I needed help, but a coach or something. I was not happy, even though I had so many amazing things coming ahead of me. My mindset was wrong. And you said it. And I jumped on my little voice that said, you got to go to this. And I had no idea what I was going to do. I just jumped. So I had immediately, just without talking to my husband or analyzing it, overthinking it like I usually do, I think you had sent out a link for an application. I just applied. And I was like, just doing it. I need something. I was desperately looking for something to really help me get through what I was going through.
So what I'm hearing from you, you were kind of like, you were looking for something, and I happened to just kind of get in front of your radar, and you're like, all right, here's this opportunity. Is that what that was like for you?
That really, it was. I knew I was unhappy, and I was unhappy for so long, and I knew that there was light somewhere, and I was lost. I was lost in my own crazy, foggy thought process that was bringing me down. I knew I needed help. So.
And so when you applied, like, what was that like for you? Women always kind of talk to me afterwards and like, oh my God, it was like this. And because it's like and I'm going to share this a little bit. I was telling you, I'm creating a video as well for women to kind of know, like, why I'm doing these live events. Like, why did I create the evolution? Why did I do all this kind of stuff? And my own experience of being in a group coaching program and having that same kind of thing. Like, I saw this video, I've been looking for something. Actually, it was pretty similar to your story, Cristina. I was looking for something for a while. I'm like, where's the program like that, but for women? And then I saw it in front of me, and I had no idea what it was. It was the same thing. Like, I just felt this pull, like, I got to apply. Didn't know what it was about. Didn't know what the investment was going to be. Didn't know if I could do it. Didn't know how, like, any of that. I was just like, I got to do it. And I just jumped, and it was scary as shit. I remember that. And I remember getting accepted. I'm like, yay. And then I was like, oh shit, now what? It was like one little like jump up the hill, and then it was like, oh shit, but I got to climb that mountain now. How is that going to go on? So what was the experience like for you when you applied?
I think my like Women Wanting More live event started when I hit apply. For me, there was it was kind of like a breakthrough for me because I was so scared to do it, and when I did it, I felt like this almost like I achieved something, like I broke through something. And then just like you, I was like, oh shit, now I gotta like, hopefully I'll be accepted, right? And hopefully this will be the thing. And I just waited. I can't remember how long it took. I got a response from you right away, but then we set up an appointment for that call. And then it was that, okay, you know what, at no point did I ever say, oh no, I don't want to do this. I just knew I want this. And it was like, I'm going to get in. I don't know. This is where I have to be. So when we had that call, holy crap, I was like, shit my pants. I was nervous. And I remember I was like blocking out things in my calendar. I was super busy at work. Like I had no idea. Like you said, I didn't know if I was going to be able to, I had no idea how much it was going to cost. I had no idea if I was going to be able to afford it. I had no idea that that my husband would support me in doing this. I had just no idea if I could work with my calendar. Like I thought I might, with my health issue, I may have had to been in the hospital or all sorts of things, but all I knew, what kept me going forward with it was that I just wanted to be there. And I just held on to that. So I think that clarity of really wanting it, it was amazing how things just all fell perfectly into place. Mm-hmm. And this is something that I learned in A Woman Wanting More. It was almost like I got to the weekend and we went through some of these experiences where, you get clear about what you want, like things come up and it just happens. So it was almost like I got to practice that to come into the course,
Yeah.
So
yeah, it is amazing when you get clear. And I think also too, like, some of these same things will come up just like I share with my experience. You share with yours. It was like, well, I don't know. Can I get in? And how will it work? And what will the financial investment be? And what's the time? And will the time line up? And all this kind of stuff. And it's like, all that shit doesn't really matter. All that matters is exactly what you said. You're just like, I wanted this. I knew there was something. I didn't have to know all the answers. It was the same with my experience too. It's like, I didn't know. I just knew I had to be there. I knew I had to do whatever it took on that phone application to help that person see that I should be chosen.
Yeah.
And that was weird for me coming from a place of like working for myself for years. And you've been at the point of like management and like, you don't like ask people for permission. You just go and do, right? And you create things and you manage people and do all this stuff. And so I remember being like a really humbling experience for me too, of just like, okay, like, how do I make this happen? But like you too, I was just really clear. I'm like, this needs to happen. I don't know all the other stuff and there's an unknown and I didn't necessarily trust it at that time. It was just kind of like, I'm just taking the next step, right? Yeah. So from that, application, and then a lot of kind of like pre-training, a couple weeks kind of leading up to that, right? What was it like when you like walked in the door? So at the very beginning, we started like on I think a Monday night, you came and registered and stuff and then came back and we started that Monday. What was it like when you walked in for the first time? Because see, these are the questions women have. They're like, what's that like? And we're not going to tell every little thing because we also had the conversation before recording of like, you don't need to know everything coming up. And that's a big piece of that, right? Totally. Life is not, you don't know everything coming out in life. So this event is no different. But what was it like for you when you first walked in?
I think I have a self-awareness. I have a self-awareness already that about myself that I love to control things. And I need to be certain on so many levels that I thought, okay, I'm here and I'm going to practice just being present and just allowing whatever's going to happen and just trusting that I'm here. And, I had all these nervous feelings, but then I kept going back to that commitment I made to myself that I was going to just give myself in the moment and just trust and be there. And I remember I was at the, it's funny how we create stories in our brains, but I was checking in and I think you had just walked in, and you were saying goodbye to your husband, and then you were very neutral, and serious at the same time, and just, we'll see you at 5. And I was just like butterflies and holy shit, like this is happening right now. And I could just feel the power that you carried. And I was really attracted to that. And I was like, this is the place I gotta be. This is the right place for me. So, on top of all that scariness and nervousness, I just, like I said, I just kept reminding myself about being there in a moment and taking in whatever I could take in. It was almost like I was a sponge, and I was really excited. And it had been a long time for me where I just it almost reminded me like when I was young and I would do things, like I was spontaneous and I would just go with it. I'm like, I have no idea what's going to happen. Like I accepted a job back in the day, long time ago, to work on a cruise ship. I had no idea where I was going to go. I had no idea what I was going to do, but I was like so hungry and excited to do that. And I was feeling some of that excitement again. It was almost like starting to awaken that excitement for life that I used to have, that somehow I like pushed down over some of the years, because of the wanting to control everything, right? Wanting to know exactly what was going to happen. And I guess, yeah, it was another part of the breakthrough of the process of just doing this experience. And
we hadn't even started yet.
We hadn't started, yeah. Like, and
it's great,
like,
man. I'm good. I got everything I need. I'm awesome. Yeah.
And it's in the moment right now that we're having this conversation that I'm even having more, as I'm saying it out loud, it's affirming it. It's solidifying my learning almost, like the growth and the value that I'm creating daily in my life as a result of this course it's incredible.
Well, let's go there. I love this. This is awesome. So when you saw kind of me seeing Ed and then kind of checking, I'm like, see you at 5, right? Because I can't be like, hey, Cristina, right? I mean, that's, again, it's important. All these different things, like the details matter. Right? We're talking about the details matter. So what was it like for you from that beginning to, let's then take a look at what was it like on that final night. So the Wednesday evening, we finished up, and then we'll kind of flip to where you are now. So what was it like from when you walked in to the Parkside in Victoria, BC, Canada, to the end on that Wednesday night? What was that like? Are you different is really what I'm asking.
Holy moly. It was incredible because it was 4 days, 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 4 days?
3. Yeah. We started on a Monday night and finished on a Wednesday night. So
right.
2 full days and a half. Yeah. Evening.
We did so much in that time. It's mind blowing. It's almost a realization just in that as to how much you can actually get done in a day.
Yeah.
But we did an exercise where we had to journal in the beginning on that first day. And then on that last day, we had to rewrite the question that we had to answer. And in that experience, it was mind-blowing. It was mind-blowing how different, like what I said on that first day about myself and what I want to what I want after 3 days. The clarity in my words and it was incredible that I could create that much in such a short period of time and get such clarity. And it was my own words that I wrote down. And so going through the days, it's not like I'm realizing these things. It's like, boom, at the end, like punch in the face, this is it. And that really put it together for me for what's possible. And it's the clarity, and I don't know why all my, so many times in my life it's just how hard it's been to just get clear on what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And to do that in that short period of time was one of the most valuable exercises I could take away from that experience, for sure.
Yeah. You know what? Here's the thing too. Like, there's something really powerful when you remove yourself from kind of like everyday life, right? So from husband and or children and business, and you're around people who are like you that want the same things, like other powerful women that are looking for similar things. We all have different stories and backgrounds and stuff and story. I mean, all of that, right? But yet there's something really different when you bring those together into that live eyeball experience, which is different than watching a video like this, right? Watching a video like this is still really valuable, right? Or like you mentioned, the sisterhood, very valuable, like kind of online types of stuff. But when you are in front of somebody, like you said too, in a small group, totally different. This was, again, when I had that group experience almost 3 years ago, for when I record this right now, it changed the game for me. Changed the game. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, every single one of the women that were there, I honor and love and appreciate every single one of them. I mean, them being there and sharing, every single one of them, I learned something from them sharing. I was inspired by them. I mean, and it was, an experience that like I'm forever grateful for, and I'm forever grateful that they took themselves on to be there. There's nothing like it. You could never ever get the work that we did in those 2.5 days or 3 days. You could never possibly get that work done in a year, in 2 years, and. I could read books, I could listen to podcasts. And I totally do all that, right? I'm like total personal growth junkie, and a lot of that stuff, I've not ever got the value and the change and the like I did with this last time. I 100% tell people to take yourself on to a new level, and this is how to do it in a group setting with other people where you can that learn from other people and be in a safe environment to really be vulnerable and share. And there's nothing like it. You could never create that on your own. You could never create that reading a book, like I said, or watching a video.
There's nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
Right? There's nowhere to hide in the live experience, for sure. So when you take a look back, when you're describing, as we're finishing up here, like where you were before, like just really unhappy and I think unhappy was kind of the biggest thing I was hearing from you. Where are you today? So we are now, as we record this, we're about 2.5 months out from when we had a live event. And so sometimes it's like you can go to events and you're like, kind of thing. And then it just kind of slowly fades, right? And so just, honestly, truthfully, where are you today now compared to where you were before the live event?
I would say, but sum it up the way my husband says. He says he's so proud of me in that now I'm stepping into my power, and I've started to love myself. And I realized that even with a recent, you had brought an activity into the trainings this week. Ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono, yeah.
And doing that exercise this week made me realize, holy shit, am I ever different than I was when I was at live, and the feelings that were coming up for me were positive and love for myself. And I see that through my actions with, I have executed on core 4 every day. Like I've following through on the commitments I've made to myself and keeping my word to myself. And I've started to create, literally create a habit for myself when it comes to, for example, one of the things I have is going for a daily walk. And I can't remember the last time I haven't done that. I've gone for a daily walk every day, minus 40. It's in Calgary. Okay.
Alberta, Canada, where I used to live. Yeah, cold. Mm-hmm.
It's cold. And there's nothing that's stopping me from going for my walk. Whereas before it was almost like a worthiness, like, well, I'm going to do this, and then I don't do it. And that, I think that just constant not keeping my word to myself was part of the reason why I was like, had this subconscious, like, lack of self-love for myself. Like, I'm not important enough to go do what I said I wanted to do. Like, what the hell? So I don't, if I think about how my mind space has changed, but now I'm way more prepared to go through and tackle my health in a way that, and I've lost now, I think, about 15 pounds since Women Wanting More. I've made the jump into changing my career completely. We've gutted and we're renovating a house, and I mean, as simple as this, so my husband and I are completely renovating our home in Arizona, and gutted the kitchen. And I'm a foodie cook, and I always wanted a gas range stove, and we have a budget and we don't want to go into debt with it. And it's as simple as, he was like, we're going to get an electric stove. We can't afford to get the gas range. And I was like, at first, okay, I'm going to settle for that. And then I was like, no, this is what I want, and we're going to figure out a way to get it. I will not get an electric stove, period. Like, we're getting a gas stove. Well, if it means I go without a couple cupboards for a few months, getting my gas range stove. With I want to cook and love my space and use what I want. I want what I want. And old Cristina would be, all right, well, that's what he wants, and it's not responsible, and I shouldn't do it, and fuck that. Like, no, I want what I want, and I want to go for it right now. I don't want to fucking wait till I'm 600 years old and never get that.
So did you get it?
I got it. So, and shopped around, and it's not going to be the Wolf oven stove gas range.
Top of the line. Right.
It's not that one yet. That will come.
Yep.
It's going to be the KitchenAid one that I just fell in love with red detail. So I just so I'm a different person in that like when you say like Women Wanting More, like that's exactly an example of it. Like I'm getting clear on what I want, and I'm going for what I want, and nothing's gonna come in my way. And there's something that's liberation to me. Mm-hmm. And just solutions come up and figure it out, right? But it all started with just, what the hell do I want? And when I'm clear on what I want, then no one's going to call me and say, hey, do you want to go drink some wine and eat some potato chips? I'm like, no, I have to do my daily walk, and I'm not doing that today. Whereas before it would be, oh man, that sounds so good. Let's just go, mm-hmm. Wine and,
Clarity is a beautiful thing.
Truly.
That is a beautiful thing. Yeah. And I so honor the work. Like you and the other 4 women who I'm going to be doing interviews with over the next week as well too. Like, and just what an amazing group, what an incredible experience, what an honor it was to lead you all. And I'm so fucking proud of you, Cristina. So proud. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to do this. And I know there'll be women watching that are like, they may see something in you that really, like, it might be a very similar experience, right? And so, I would say for them that watching, it's like, if there's something that's really true, just like my experience with my coaching program 3 years ago, and your experience was with live event, like, if something is really calling you in your heart, like, you need to do this, the voice is calling you, then just click that apply button, right? Just like you did. And like, we'll see where it goes from there. Don't have to have it all figured out, but I wanted to, again, to really do these interviews to give you an idea of really like what it's like from these women's perspectives that have been through the event, and to really see what happens on the other side, and like the possibility of what you can create. So thank you so much, Cristina, again, for your time. I honor you, sister. I honor you.
Thank you. I love and appreciate you too.
Love and appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborne.com/newsletter.